Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'inu ala umurid dunya waddin. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Well, good morning everybody. Alhamdulillah, today we are in third meeting talking regarding or dealing with the basic elements of Pesantren and the rules. The expert or Indonesian expert of Pesantrens taught us that the basic element of Pesantren is four: mosque, religious teachers, or popularly namely kiai, or we call ulama, canonist, alims, ustadz, and for special for female, nyai, or in Lombok, Nusa Tenggara, namely tuan guru, look like tuan guru bajang, TGB. And the third is religious book, or kitab, or kitab kuning, or yellow books, or kutubut turats. This is the maktabaroh kutubs, the books that originally an authoritative book for Islamic studies, especially for traditional pesantren. And the last is dormitory, or we call pondok or asrama, or traveling in, and it must be spirited between gender, between male and female, santri and santrian. So mosque, kiai, kitab kuning or yellow books, and dormitory is the basic component or the basic element of pesantren. Yeah. So without these four elements, we do not call that institution pesantren. It's called maybe without dormitory we call madrasah, or we call school. Without kiai, it's called maybe it's just majlis taklim or madrasah diniyah, and so on and so forth. So this is very important for pesantren because without one of the four basic elements of pesantren, so it is not valid to be a pesantren. Well, the language used in pesantren is very various. The first is Arabic, because Arabic is the main language in Islam. Arabic means Islamic language. Why? Because the source of Islam written in Arabic. So Arabic here is not only the language or in linguistic studies, but also the teachings inside. Many teachings written and oral in Arabic. So Arabic is very important. But the kinds of teaching Arabic in pesantren, we have two kinds. In Salafi or traditional pesantren, Arabic is taught in written. So they learn qawaid or grammatic rule. They learn mubtada khobar, jumlah ismiyah, jumlah fi'liyah, fi'al fa'il, maf'ul bih, and so on and so forth. They learn the Arabic itself. But in modern pesantren, Arabic is not written, but majority in oral. They learn orally. For example, how to use Arab for intercommunication. How to use Arabic to prepare students in study abroad. How to learn how to connect the people interaction using Arabic itself. In Malays, the other language is Malay for Malaysia, or Bahasa for the national pesantren in Bekasi, in Jakarta, or mostly in local language. For example, the most pesantren in Sundanese area must be used Sundanese. And I myself believe the Sundanese or the local language must be kept by Pesantren, and only Pesantren keep local language as their habit, as the daily usage. Okay, well, Indonesian language for governmental curricula, for example, because in comprehensive pesantren or integrated modern and traditional pesantrens, pesantren built school, or the school built pesantren, like in Cendekia. So the using of language itself by using Indonesian language or bahasa, because they use governmental curricula, national curricula, and then sometimes they use English. For example, it is mostly used by modern pesantren. Modern pesantren focus on language itself, Arabic, English. So in daily communication, they use Arabic and they use English. So it is good for their communication for future, because the future life, the students are prepared to be good official government, good actors in international relationship. So English is very important for this context. Sometimes French, Germany, Japan, it is studied by santri in pesantren, but the mostly foreign language is Arabic and English. Arabic is Islamic teaching, and English for the general knowledge in the world views. Okay, next, the organization of pesantren. Because pesantren is private, pesantren is without government interruption, and pesantren is very stand by themselves. So because of government regulation that every institution must be under foundation, so pesantren must be under foundation or yayasan. It must be community based. It could be wakaf or endowment, and the fund must be in zakat, sedekah, especially for today's in BWI, Badan Wakaf Indonesia, proposed the wakaf of money, endowment of money. This money is for growing and developing pesantren. And the second, it could be additional sources. For example, pesantren built cafeteria, bookstore, supplies, laundry services, guest house, and mostly pesantren's funding is dapur umum or general kitchen. The kitchen produce money, produce funding for pesantren. And in the other context, on the other pesantren kind, proposed and by sponsors. For example, the sponsor from CSR, community social responsibilities, yeah, and then there are many funding for pesantren organization, and some from government subsidized, but it is very little bit, because it's look like pesantren in Cendekia, Madrasah Aliyah Negeri in Cendekia. It could be from government subsidized. So the government subsidized many tools, many growing, and many things in pesantren. And many pesantren support from certain national government, non-government organizations. For example, NU, pesantren NU, and especially for Muhammadiyah movement, NGO or Persatuan Islam movement, the pesantren must be followed by the NGO regulation. For example, in pesantren persis number blah blah blah, pesantren persis number blah blah blah. This is NGO, non-government organization. Or some in political parties, pesantren's funding subsidized by political parties. Special, for example, pesantren Ibadur Rahman, pesantren. These pesantrens affiliated to political parties, Partai Keadilan Sejahtera, and so on and so forth. And international funding. There are many funding from international, especially for Middle East, from Arab Saudi, Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, from and the West, from United States, from Australia, or from Europe countries. This is international funding, but maybe the kinds of relationship could be boundaries or unboundaries. Well, this is the example of organizational structures in pesantren. First, endowment, wakaf. Badan wakaf, so the land, the buildings, the officer must be endowment, or it could be foundation. Foundation means in the legal institution, the legal body means. This is after endowments, leader or we call kiai or pengasuh. Why we call pengasuh? Because in Islamic tradition, education must be tarbiyah from Rabbun mengasuh. Rabbun is keep after. Rabbun make people become or imitate something important, or imitate something best from kiai. And then in pesantren, especially for integrated pesantren, they build formal education like school, like Cipasung has senior high school, junior high school, kindergarten, elementary school. This is formal education, and the others that non-formal. Non-formal is takhosus. Takhosus means teacher, the education for non-formal. Takhosus only studying kutubut turats or yellow books, and then teachers or ustad or asatid, and then student, santri, and community. So this is the organization of pesantren. But the kinds of organization from pesantren, one pesantren to another pesantren. So it is normal because as we know that pesantren tradition is very self-management, no interruption by the government. So this is the units in the pesantren organization, especially for the modern pesantren. They have dormitory. Dormitory is free paid or paid dormitory. Especially for a modern pesantren, dormitory, the student rent dormitory. But for Salafi or traditional, dormitory is free, but the tools or the instrument for like in cupboard, table or bed, it must be rent or buy to the other place. And then cooperative means cooperation, Boy Scout, Scout. Okay, information and documentation. So many pesantren gives the education for broadcasting, and then exercise and sport, like basket, volleyball, and so on and so forth. Health and environment, library, human relations, postal skills, transportation, clean lines, entrepreneurship, water, electricity, equipment, gas reception, etc. So many units in pesantren. But for traditional pesantren, it's very simple. Dormitory, okay, dormitory, and then no other unit, no extracurricular, but the life itself for education means for a long life, 24 hours. So this is we would like to comparative study from Nahdlatul Ulama Muhammadiyah affiliation of pesantren. For example, most pesantren are affiliated with NU because NU has the branch of pesantren. Or NU say NU is the bigger home of pesantren. So the most pesantren, especially for Eastern Java, East Java, affiliated in NU. Okay, Muhammadiyah run mostly madrasah or sekolah agama. So Muhammadiyah built madrasah sekolah agama. But today Muhammadiyah imitate NU for pesantren, and NU imitate Muhammadiyah for growing hospital, growing university, growing madrasah, growing social workers and so on and so on. And ada pesantren are called Salafi. Salafi means not Salafi traditional, but Salafi from Saudi Arabia, Arab Saudi. Because Salafi here is a little similar from Wahhabi, mostly moderate. Moderate means the equation moderate, but hardline. For example, many Salafi pesantren in Bogor teach about the purification of Islam. Purification means textually must be followed. Textually must be followed. Contextually must be banned. This is the key point of Salafi. It must be textual. The contextual must be banned. Okay, so the most of pesantren, the most of Salafi pesantren is danger for Indonesian context because Indonesia is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, diversity in unity. Pesantren always become glue of nationality. So pesantren closer with Nasrani or Buddhism or Hinduism because pesantren know they are the glue for nationality. Nationalism come from pesantren and the struggle of Indonesian independence from pesantren. So pesantren know more about the struggle. But Salafi pesantren is maybe the recent phenomenon in Indonesia. Okay, this is next the culture of pesantren. It must be closed and open. Okay, closed and open. First, the teacher and student relationship. Kiai is very charismatic. And then the student needs barokah, blessing, strong loyalty. This very whatever the Kiai asks or instruction, the santri must be follow, must do it, and respect. Santri respect to Kiai, and Kiai respect to santri. Student and student relationship, friendship, because they have even the brotherhood. Okay, santri to santri is brother, friendship, and then for the future time they have the good relationship, networking, santri to santri. So pesantren, one pesantren and two pesantren must be networking from one alumnus. Okay. And pesantren and the surrounding community mutual beneficial. Pesantren and community is mutually beneficial. mutually beneficial. So pesantren needs community and community needs pesantren. Pesantren needs community for building dormitory, for rehabilitation of mosque, for helping students, for giving some funding for pesantren, and so on and so forth. And community has the beneficial from pesantren for teaching Islamic, for helping people, for consulting problem, and so on and so forth. So community needs pesantren needs community. Well, this is the example of extracurricular from modern pesantren, like art, music, performance, popular culture, poetry, literatures, film, and technological touch, like social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram, and so on and so forth. But the most modern pesantren often, but the traditional pesantren closed from the technology, because they should focus on yellow book. They should focus on the main teaching of Islamic, in traditional Islamic. Okay, so it's different. Okay, this is the curriculums in pesantren and regulated by Department of Religious Affairs, especially for 1982. But in 2019, there is the institution. There's the institution for pesantren itself, especially for pesantren and religious teaching or religious institution. First, the curriculum is Quran and Hadith. First, okay. So the second is Islamic thought, theology or Tawhid, philosophy and Sufism, fiqh, Islamic law and social institution. Islamic history and civilization, Islamic history, tarikh or SKI, sejarah kebudayaan or sejarah peradaban Islam, and civilization, how to build the civilization of Muslim, and language, Arabic grammar, Arabic literatures, especially for modern Arabic speaking, Arabic listening, Arabic speaking, Arabic skills, and Islamic education, tarbiyah, Islamic mission, dakwah, and modern thought in Islamic world. So this curriculum was taught in pesantren, mostly pesantren. But for in the fact, many pesantren specifies one of the core of pesantren. For example, pesantren Al-Falah, it focus on Quran, Hadith. There is the pesantren that focus on Hadith, pesantren Hadith, or pesantren Tauhid, Miftahul Huda for Tauhid, Sufism, Suryalaya, or Latifah Mubarakiyah, focus on Sufism. This is the difference of pesantren based on competence. So pesantren, especially for the for many some of pesantren focus in one competency. So pesantren must be competent based. This is the curriculum. First, religious knowledge, Quran, Hadith, morality, akhlak, Islamic law or jurisprudence, Sharia, fikih, ibadah, munakaha, waris, yeah, and then Arabic grammar, Islamic history or tarikh, Sufism or tasawuf, or in Iran, namely irfan, and logic, mantiq. This is logic for the basic of philosophy. And for modern pesantren, teach general knowledge, natural science, biology, physics, chemistry, social science, history, sociology, geography, under the Department of National Education or Kemendikbud. And vocational skill, foreign language, computer, agriculture, and craft. This is for modern pesantren, because modern pesantren help the student to build their future. To build their future means the general knowledge must be added in pesantren education. But in Salafiyah, on traditional pesantren, focus on religious knowledge only. They focus on religion, because the traditional pesantren focus how to build santriya to be kiai, to be future kiais. Okay, this is the Islamic philosophy of education. First, God-centered, voluntarism, God-centered, zikir, tahlil, wiridan, and so on and so forth. This is how to cultivate the spiritual touch for God-centered and voluntarism. No money oriented for Pesantren, and community-based and orientation. So the community was asked to by Pesantren to help the funding, to help the building mosque, building dormitory, building networking, and simplicity. Simplicity means very simple, not rigid, not needs a market. So the location of the Pesantren is not ideal. It's not ideal. It looks like not like the university, the ideal market. And control freedom, not freedom, not free freedom. So the freedom was controlled by Kiai, independence, no government interruption, and practicing knowledge. We learn ibadah, we learn salat, practice salat. We learn zakat, practice zakat, and so on and so forth. This is the Islamic philosophy of education in Pesantren. The last, pedagogy in Pesantren. Pedagogy, how to learn together between Kiai and Santri in Pesantren. First, halaqah. Halaqah means sitting in a semi-cycle around seated teachers. So, teachers sitting in a table, and then Santri sit around. So, Santri, this is halaqah. Halaqah, it could be bandungan or sorogan. It's okay. Bandungan means seminary, and sorogan is competency based or talaki. And then memorization. Many santri memorize all information, all knowledge. For example, in alfiyah, in grammatical rule, wala Muhammadun huwa maliki yaqulu ba'da hamdil jalali. This is memorization. And reciting and memorizing the Quran and the Hadith. And so, Pesantren or Santri must recite and memorize the Quran. At least judge 30. In chapter 30, for example, amma yatasa'alun anin naba'il adim alladhi hum fihi muhtalifun. Should be qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, malikin nas, and so on and so forth. Or memorizing hadith. Hadith, for example, kullukum ra'un wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi. Or the hadith of niyat. And so on and so forth. Memorizing Arabic grammar and conversation. So conversation is memorized, and question and answer discussion between Kiai and Santri. So this is the pedagogy in Pesantren. So in this context, Pesantren has the good tradition of pedagogy, the good tradition of networking between Pesantren and society, Pesantren and alumni, Kiai and Santri, Santri and Santri. This is the good relationship in Pesantren. So maybe that's all for this meeting. We learn about Islamic philosophy of education, curriculum of Pesantren, and then the culture of Pesantren, close and open. And then the last, the affiliation, Nahdlatul Ulama, and the unit in Pesantren organization, especially for the organization structure of Pesantren, and how to the language in Pesantren, and the last, the basic element of Pesantren and their rule. Thank you very much for your attention. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.